YouTube fam. Today we're playing a deck called Biometal. It's submitted by mbalrog6 again, and it's a deck built around Brothers War artifacts and artifact synergistic cards like Sereth Steelseeker, which is a 1 green, 2 mana total. Creature, human, artificer, scout, 1/2. Whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, reveal it and put it into your hand. Pretty good. If you don't put it in your land, you may put it into the graveyard. So it kind of helps filter draws too. If you are going to draw a Haywire Might off the top and it's not going to be good next turn, and he had a different artifact enter the battlefield, it's a scry. It's like a scry plus the ability to put it in your hand. It's actually a really good card in a base artifact deck, which this deck has a lot of artifacts, and that's really the key theme of it, with Haywire Might, Simian Simulacrum, Rootwire Amalgam, Boulder Branch Golem, Portal to Phyrexia, Rust Goliath, Jewel Thief makes an artifact. Yeah, that's sort of what you're trying to do with the deck. We also have Teething Wormlet. It's another artifact synergistic card. Awaken the Woods is a ramp card to help you get to these later game artifacts, along with Gwenna. Also a ramp card to get to these later game artifacts, also with Jewel Thief. But it also makes a artifact, just sneaking that one in there. Then we have Under Unnatural Growth, which is just a card that just can get your opponent sometimes. They're not expecting you to hit for a bunch of extra damage on that turn. And we have some removal spells and Bite Down and Gaia's Gift. That's really the plan of the deck. Let's see how it goes on the ladder. Alrighty, we're going first, and this hand looks pretty good, so we will keep. Lead out of Forest, and I think we're going to pass and try to get some value out of the Steelseeker and the Haywire Might. Opponent might just kill our Steelseeker here, though. Probably means they have a play with fire or something that can directly kill the Steelseeker. It's a little unfortunate, but we'll get this Gwenna down next turn. Bolted Surge, sure. So our opponent has for turn 2. Onicote Anvil. Alrighty. And the question is, do we want this Gwenna or this Jewel Thief? I think we'd rather have the Gwenna. So we'll get the Gwenna down. Go ahead and pass the turn. Next turn we can Jewel Thief and Haywire Might. Even if we don't draw lands. Pretty good. Unnatural Growth. And I think we're actually going to use this Might to exile his Onicote Anvil right now before they can get a bunch of value off of it. They can sack the Shaman if they want, but I kind of would doubt that they're doing that. Obviously, they can sack their own creature to it. That's fair, too. Their own Onicote Anvil to it. Alrighty. Well, Haywire Might is taking out the Onicote Anvil. We're pretty happy about that. Opponent bins 2 lands. Getting the cycling going. We're trying to hit a Unnatural Growth next turn. To do that, we'll need to hit a land. And then we'll be able to attack for 6 with this Jewel Thief, which would have Vigilance and Trample, which would be pretty good. Another Fable for our opponent. Yeah, I'm fine with that. If they come in this way, we're blocking. Yep, we're blocking for sure. They're going to Voltage Surge this now. Very possible. They don't have to sacrifice the treasure if they do it after we block. And think about killing the Gwenna, though. They are going to kill the Gwenna instead of the Jewel Thief. Probably happy about that. Yeah, I think here we're going to play Awaken the Woods. Attack with our 3/3 and hope to get an Unnatural Growth down next turn. Pretty stuck on lands against the deck. We're not really in love with being stuck on lands. And Unnatural Growth, it is a good card, but you really want a solid board presence when you play it. I guess they too kill up one of our 1/1s. We're able to at least cast this Haywire Might and exile it, killing the Onicote Anvil. But we probably have to kill this Kiki Jiki at one point or another. Okay, well that's a removal spell. It's not going at our our face there. Yeah. Not sure how we're going to really win this game outside of unnatural growthing our opponent to death. If our opponent has Invoke Despair, this upcoming turn will probably concede to it. But we just got to use our mana efficiently here. We could have also Jewel Thieves plus Haywire Might to get rid of the Honeycomb Anvil, but they're going to need another artifact anyway. And if they want to spend their whole turn copying Reflections or whatever this turn, I think we're fine. There's Shelly coming on that way. Shelly's pretty good. Rest Goliath. Oh yeah, I do think we want to play this Haywire Might. Question is, do we want to get rid of one of these Reflections right now? Honestly, probably do. I'm just gonna non-creature artifact. I can't get rid of that. I can't get rid of the Anvil right now, so I guess, yeah, I didn't. No. I'm not gonna be able to get rid of the Kiki Jikis, which means we're gonna have a rough time at it. Opponent attacks their Honeycomb Anvil. We are kind of in a rough spot. Definitely trading this Jewel Thief for Shelly. Opponent can't stop drawing Honeycomb Anvils. A little unfortunate for us. I'm gonna copy the Reflection. Okay. Do they have another Eaten Alive? They do have another Eaten Alive. Next turn means we're probably gonna play this Rust Goliath. Kind of Industry will be good if we can ever get there. At this point, we're not looking good. I think we're gonna get a little slapped up by our opponent here. They just need any removal spell, and honestly, they might. I think we're dead anyway. 1, 2, 3. What is this? Research desk. Opponent might have had us dead here because we'd have had to block the Sheldred, and they can make a couple copies to sacrifice for the next turn. It's unclear whether they could. They couldn't kill us this turn, but next turn they could have killed us, I believe. Which, you know, it happens. See if they attack with the Sheldred. My guess is they won't, honestly. Now we're looking to draw an untapped land, so that way we can jam a Titan of Industry. It's basically our only chance to get back in this. Let's see if we can do it. Didn't look like we could there. Oh, this also gives us a chance to win next turn. Just have... Oh, it doesn't have Trample. Does not have Trample. Good to know at least. Obviously, we could make a 30-30 with the unnatural growth, but if it doesn't have Trample, it doesn't do a whole lot for us. If it had... This had Trample here, we'd actually be feeling pretty good about our position. Just making sure I'm not missing the Trample bit of this. Yeah, we can't take the damage here, so we're definitely going to block. We're going to get their card, though. Draws their card, pings me. I'm going to re-equip the Transmonger's Crown. Makes sense. See if we can draw land for this Industry. It doesn't look like we can. So we could double create some Reflections at the end of this turn. I think we need another blocker with some size. So we'll play this Amalgam. Pass the turn. Man, really, we have not drawn a land in some time. Even, I mean, it's given us stuff to play, but I mean, it's given us no hope to get to this Titan of Industry. All right, opponent's gonna double reflection here. Gonna give us some options to block that that aren't this 3-1 at least. Our opponent leaves themselves completely vulnerable to counterattack. We have, I mean, this represents 30 power next turn. Could be even more with the wire amalgam. Opponent can get back the Obnixilis. Give back the bloodthirsty adversary. Block, block. We take exactly 8. And this would be lethal with the Onikone Anvil. Okay. Opponent's not going to hit us with lethal, at least. At least now I think we have an out of drawing a removal spell here. Maybe not, actually. Because they got the token. Very interesting. See what we draw. See if it's anything worth something. Because the land. Land isn't terrible. How badly do I need this life? What can they cast from the graveyard? Eaten alive. So that means we're going to lose this Titan of Industry. Anyway, so we don't want to make this shield. So yeah, I guess we're fine with making a big trampler. And next turn trying to get him with the unnatural growth. They don't kill it with the bloodthirsty adversary. I think we're going to have enough life. We're going to have to try to write out the amount of life we have here. So we're going to destroy artifact and create a 4/4. We're going to... Anvil or the crown? We'll kill the anvil. We'd have to hope they draw mostly blanks right now anyway. Sacrifices itself again. Do you not get the rhino if they you must not get the rhino if they counter the, or they make sure you don't have a legal target for the artifact or enchantment as it resolves. I actually didn't know that. Okay. So we're dead this turn now, so we don't have the blocker. Interesting. I didn't know that. That is certainly interesting. Opponent's going to get an eaten alive here, sacrifice this 2/2, kill our Titan of Industry, attack for at least 4, and that's going to be the game. Dang, it's interesting, though. Yeah, our opponent was able to just do enough, though. Not sure getting our 4/4 was going to matter here. And we would have been able to just barely survive here otherwise, but... that's how the game rolls sometimes. If these had trample or anything, would have been in a good spot this entire game, but alas, it did not. And we lost the game already. On to the next one. Okay, I'm going first, and this looks to be a decent hand. Haywire Might on turn 1. Potential Bite Down on turn 2. Jewel Thief on turn 3, or Simian Simulacrum. Though Simian Simulacrum is pretty good on turn 4, as it kind of gets haste that way. But it could also be an unblocked Haywire Might going down too. There are some creatures our opponent could play where we could bite down with the Haywire Might, but not a ton. Yeah, they don't play it. So let's get in the might and pass the turn. Probably expecting, I was gonna say blood. Tithe Harvester, but they put a tap land, so already. Alright, so we do have a question about the Jewel Thief or the Simian Simulacrum. And I think we are going to play the Simian Simulacrum because if it dies here, then we get more value. Do have the cut down, okay. Yeah, that was a fear of ours, I suppose. Maybe that's the reason we should play the Jewel Thief. Yeah, I probably should have played the Jewel Thief there. Or targeted the Simian Simulacrum itself, so I could have gotten damage in at least. Not sure. Attack with Simian Simulacrum since it has Unearth. See if our opponent is keen to block. They're at only 2 lands in hand. Not keen to block. And this way we can keep a bite down up. We have this Root Wire Amalgam for next turn through this Treasure if we want it. Or we can... Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's 3 mana, 3/3. They can have the kill on that if they would like. See if they attack here. They didn't block, and if they're not blocking this turn, they should probably be attacking with their underdog. Should be doing something with it. And they do decide to attack. Okay, makes sense. Get our damage in. Play our 5 mana 5/5. And pass the turn. If our opponent's playing Go for the Throat, it means these artifacts are probably kind of hard for our opponent to kill, and our opponent's stuck on lands. See if they have a way to kill this. They'd have to have some other Doomblade effect. So yeah, they could have any 2 damage removal spell to remove our guys there, and I don't think we really want to chance that, so. I think we're just going to attack with both here. See what our opponent wants to do. They kill this Root Wire. I guess it's only acted only as a sorcery, so it doesn't really matter. So if in that event, I think we're just going to play this 3/5. Present lethal this next turn. Having all artifacts is certainly something decent, at least against the Go for the Throat decks of the format, and proved to be enough there. I had to imagine our opponent had some other type of removal spells, but they couldn't find the right one. So did you have fun in the match? I'll give it a smiley face. I like to see it from Wizards. Alrighty, GG's. On to the next one. Okay, we're going first, but we do have things to play in turn 2, but after that it gets a little dicey, so I think we're going to mulligan that one. We're going to keep this one, I guess. Put this Boulder Branch going on the bottoms. This one's not a lot better. This might go on. Third land was solid, though. See if they, I mean, this might mean at least they can't play a Bank Buster this turn without getting it blown up. So that's something, I suppose. Okay. We'll eat that all day for sure. Get the Jewel Thief going. One problem about Jewel Thief is it's not going to attack through Refine, unfortunately. They can cast Refine if they have it. Flesh Gorger. Well, Flesh Gorger's fine. Yeah, so we have the Steel Seeker. And we're going to play the Haywire Might. See if we can hit a land. Reveal it. Play the said land. And we're definitely attacking here. Opponent's welcome to block. I'm going to pass the turn. Next turn, we'll get this Root Wire Amalgam down. And we're not blocking Flesh Gorger. No blocks from us here. And Shelly. Yeah, Shelly's not bad. I want to draw a removal spell here. Shelly just putting us stopping our tracks here. We do want to mill that. We have better draws for sure. Gonna go past the turn now. Now I think we will block a Flesh Gorger. With the Rewire Amalgam and the Haywire Mite or something. They destroy evil. Okay, a little annoying. But figured they'd have some removal here. Your opponent attacks. No attacks from our opponent. Okay. Get this Jewel Thief down. Get an artifact on the battlefield. Trigger our Serenth Steel Seeker. Reveal a land. And we are flooding out, but at least we have like Titan of Industries and draws like that in our deck. We have some really powerful draws. We have 8 mana, 9th in hand. We can cast pretty much anything. See if we hit something good to cast. Opponent seems to be base. White black. Haven't really seen any blue spells yet. Reckoner, Bankbuster, Phyrexian Flesh Gorger, Sheltered the Apocalypse, Destroy Evil. Those are things that signal to me that they're definitely base white black. See our opponent attacks. They do feel like getting busy. So we'll block with both thieves. Wandering Emperor, sure. Pretty good. Probably should have read that one, but it happens. Okay. Yep, so they eat a Jewel Thief for free. My turn. Another land, huh? Another game we're just getting pounded by Sheldred here. Isn't looking good. We're gonna need to draw something probably next turn, or else this game is over. Okay, let's see what our opponent has. Send them all in on the Sheldred. Any one removal spell blows us up, but I think we need to swing for the fences here. Really, any solution we think could get us there. Maybe rip a portal or something this next turn is really feels like our only chance. Yep. Alrighty. Yeah, it's not looking good. We're going to concede unless we draw something here. And the Nether Forests. That's not enough. GG's. I'm going to make some changes to the deck. So I'll meet you in the deck builder screen. Alrighty. See you there. Okay, we're in the deck builder screen. And we're going to change a few things about this deck I think make it a little more efficient. So the first thing we're going to do is we have a lot of top end here that isn't maybe as efficient as some of the other cards in this deck even, or it's not the top end in this format. So we're going to get rid of the Rusk Elias. The Portal is really hard to cast in 9, and the Boulder Branch Golems. We are going to want more Rootwire Amalgams and Simian Simulacrums. We're going to get rid of the Growths as well, and the Defiler Vigor. Going to lean into more of the artifact theme here. The same thing goes to Gwen. I want the artifact theme going. The Wormlet is awesome with the artifact theme, so we're going to add more worms there. And we're going to swap out Gaia's Gift and Bite Down for Tail Swipe. It's just a 1 mana removal spell for fighting, so that's pretty good. We think we'd rather be on Tail Swipe, which is nice. And then we are going to add a Beseju for a forest. That's always free in these kind of decks, so it's no downside to having the one of Beseju here. So gonna add that here. And we're going to swap out the Jewel Thieves for the Briar Bridge Tracker. They're pretty similar cards. They both make a artifact when they enter the battlefield, which is important for the deck. But this one, this artifact draws cards at least, and it's a 4/3 vigilance instead of a 3/3. So we're going to start there. Yes, we're going to add the 4 Clay Champion here as well. And we have more one-colored short here. And lastly, we are going to play Gala Greeters here, which is going to create more artifacts, which is going to be pretty nice. So we're going to add Gala Greeters in here. Instead of the Awaken the Woods and 1 Root Wire Amalgam, I believe. So the deck's going to look like this. Sort of the aggressive nature. If it's not an artifact, it's either artifact synergy with Sarah Steel Seeker and Teething Wormlith, or a removing spell with Tail Swipe, or just an absurdly powerful card in Titan Ministry, or it produces artifacts. So Gala Greeters, Briar Bridge Tracker, all these other things are artifacts. So we're going to try this and see how this works. Still keeps the core of Sarenth involved. Somewhat similar to the green-white artifact beatdown deck I played on this channel earlier, but I think we're going to try keeping this mono green and see how this works. So, alrighty, let's take this deck into the ladder. Alrighty, we're going first, and this hand's a little light on lands, so I don't think we can keep this one. This one looks a lot better, though. What are we putting back? I think we're honestly going to put back this Tail Swipe and move on with there. Go to our main, get this Wormlet down. I think we are going to get the Teething Wormlet down, or the Gala Greeters down this turn. So I think we're going to attack with the Teething Wormlet and play the Gala Greeters. Maybe draw a Briar Bridge Tracker or something next turn so we can make a tap treasure, grow the Teething Wormlet, and then play the Root Wire Amalgam for full on 5. That's the goal. Something this turn we can play that makes a treasure. Not going to get it this turn. Okay. Wire Might. See, that would have been... That qualifies. See if they have a second cut down. Attack for 2. Probably don't based on their turn there. I think we are going to try to cast this Root Wire Amalgam for its full 5 is a plan. See what our opponent has here. Could be a Graveyard Trespasser. Could be a Liliana. Probably not going to be an artifact, though. They just get stonewalled here. Okay, so I think, yeah, we are going to play this Root Wire Amalgam pre-combat then. Pump up this Teething Wormlet. Opponent has a cut down. They're going to need to decide if they want to use it here or not. They do have a Go for the Throat, so Go for the Throat's going to be a little bit worse against a lot of our artifact creatures, so smart of them to use it there. Now we're still keeping the Haywire Might. Probably should have played the Beseiju, but I did kind of want to keep it back just in case we ever did turn into an excess of lands. Plus is the Sorin. Okay. It's a Hero's Downfall. So yeah, here's where we get kind of punished for not playing the land last turn. But now we'll be able to keep Haywire Might and Beseiju up. But if we had played a 5-power Root Wire Amalgam this turn, we'd be feeling a lot better about our position. See what our opponent has for us this turn. Making a Vampire, cashing the Sorin in means they might have another one. Or they just see the board state and feel like it's pretty good right now. See if our opponent plays a Bankbuster or something we can exile the Haywire Might. They have a Grasp for the Root Wire Amalgam, okay. They do have a Hero's Downfall for this other Root Wire Amalgam we have in hand. Do I need to get full value out of this Wormlet and make it a 2/2? That's a tough one. I think I am going to get full value out of it. Play it now and sandbag this Root Wire Amalgam a little bit. Certainly not looking good for us here. I mean, our board is gone. Our hand is not looking good. Our opponent has a huge amount of hand and they're winning on the board, so Certainly not an enviable spot for us, but we'll try to draw out of it. Sort of the nature of these decks that we're playing here. Now that a card advantage. If you draw a lot of your small ball stuff, it's not going to look good. You know, we drew Wormlet, Greeters, Wormlet, White, Amalgam. And they have a March for our Wormlet. And then we know they have this Hero's Downfall for our Rootwire Amalgam. We're a long way away from something like a Titan of Industry. I guess Awaken the Woods would be a good draw into Titan. It's probably one of our better draws, since our opponent probably just does 1 for 1 removal. Opponent's going to draw the cards since they're going to gain this life back with the 2-3. Makes sense. Opponent's got the Gala Greeters. Or we have the Gala Greeters. Opponent has the Hero's Downfall I meant for our Rootwire Amalgam. So I think since this Rootwire Amalgam is going to probably eat a removal spell anyway, we are going to just play it as a 2-3. It's probably going to eat this Hero's Downfall either way, so might as well get the value off the Greeters while we can. If they don't kill the Rootwire Amalgam, we can make a 6-6 and force them to kill the token. We'll see, though. Certainly not looking good for us. Opponent has a wealth of cards in hand. We're on 0 and only 5 lands. Opponent has been on 4 lands for a while, though. Which means they probably have all gas in hand, which means if they start drawing lands and start doing a lot of powerful things, it's going to be not good for us. Let's see it. Let's see it, though. Downfall on the Gala Greeters, sure. I don't have it for the backside of the Amalgam. They attack with their 2-3. We can really get in this turn. Alrighty, well. Going all in on this Amalgam for sure. It's got haste. They're going to block. They're going to... I imagine they have a plan for this since they use their Hero's Downfall and the Greeters instead of a Go for the Throat or something. So imagine they have a plan for the 6-6, but this is our path to winning the game, is hoping the 6-6 is good enough. Adversary is a Death Touch, okay. So we'd want to draw... It's not bad. So attack with a 6-6. So if this is our opponent's best way to block the 6-6, maybe that means they also don't have a way to kill this Clay Champion. So obviously they traded there. This way we can make an 11-11 here. Pretty big creature. Opponent's going to need another adversary here. See if they have it. Could have an Invoke Despair. There's a lot of things they could have in 5. They've been waiting to cast. I don't think there's a specific removal spell they'd be waiting until now to cast, though. So having the Haywire Midas and Invoke Despair Protector is pretty good. See what our opponent has. Hopefully they just have a bunch of Go for the Throats, and what we have here is good enough. Apparently I was wrong. This is the exact card that they were waiting for to have 5 lands in hand to really get us Gix's Command. And with that, I think we're going to concede. I was definitely wrong. Was not expecting the Gix's Command to come out when they had 5 mana. Our opponent's deck feels actually uniquely set up to beat ours. We're going to concede. GG's. Alrighty. Ellen, game 1 for the revamped Biometal. Let's see what happens in game 2. Okay, our opponent goes first, but this hand has some power. We'll keep. Fire Bridge on 3, Clay Champion on 4, Steel Seeker on 2, 2, 3, 4 potentially. They're opponent up with a hello. See if they have a Bank Buster or something. Underdog, sure. Steel Seeker for us. Next, if we could get this tracker down and trigger the Steel Seeker, we'd be feeling pretty good about it. Opponent's Small Sleepers. Okay, that means they could also have a removal spell for this Steel Seeker. They don't, though. Opponent's on the aggro plan. They're going to hit us pretty hard here. Gonna bin the Titan of Industry. Not something we're really looking forward to here. Are we gonna block with this tracker? Probably not going to get the opportunity to. Opponent's going to probably hit us in for 7 or something like that here. Yeah, this is a beatdown we're receiving here. Next turn is probably going to be like Root Wire Amalgam plus Tail Swipe on the Evolve Sleeper, if I had to guess. Okay, let's see if we can hit a land with this. We did. Not bad, not bad. Okay, get rid of this Evolve Sleeper. They could have a cut down here, which would be GG's, honestly, if they did have a cut down. Okay, they don't have a cut down. Now we have something to block, stem the bleeding a little bit. Don't think we're blocking with a Steel Seeker, so might as well get in with the damage. Next turn, we can play this Simulacrum Sheldred, okay. Opponent has had a pretty nice aggro curve against us. Another Steel Seeker. And get this down, and then the Clay Champion. Make one of these a 3/4. Mill the Haywire Mite. Okay, I guess we're going to have both Haywire Mites we got to mill. Now we're chumping the Sheldred. And looking to draw any sort of removal spell. Our opponent has Body Launderer. They don't attack. Well, doesn't matter. We're dead either way. Can't get out of this one. Mono black getting us with the underdogs into Sheldred start with our slow start. GG's. Alrighty, let's get another game in here. Okay, we're going first, and this not a great hand, but not a bad hand. We'll keep. Get this Haywire Mite down. Get a Steel Seeker down next turn. And then hope to cast Haywire Mites to hit lands. That's the entire plan we got here. Opponent's got a Snarling Wolf down. Okay. Get this Steel Seeker down, and we'll get busy with this Haywire Mite. We're not going to block this turn, so we'll offer the trade if they want it. If our opponent has particularly relevant enchantments, they would take the block. To me, this signals they probably don't have any super relevant enchantments. There is a wolf-related enchantment that maybe they have. I imagine this is a wolf deck. It's not really a reason to play this outside of a wolf deck, to be honest. Okay, since we already have our lands, I think that means we're going to play the Gala Greeters into the Haywire Mite just to get as much value as possible. And we're looking good on mana, so I think we're going to try to go large with this Gala Greeters. Wormlet. Well, it's not bad, but I think we're looking for more of our higher profile stuff going on. Yeah, we'll get in with this Haywire Mite. Again, we're not blocking this. Might as well attack. Steel Seeker could potentially block. Opponent would have had to have spent their mana first, though. See what our opponent has here. Tap land into Bigger Wolf. Our board's looking puny right now. We gotta draw some big hitters. Backsaw Pup. Okay. That's gonna grow every turn. Steel Seeker holding down the fort along with everything else here. And Titan of Industry, a good draw. So now I think that's gonna make me want to make treasures with the Gala Greeters. So now we'll create a treasure. And we'll keep the Clay Champion. Both times. And now we're good. We don't really need to attack. It's gonna be our Clay Champion's gonna be huge, and I'm not sure our opponent's gonna have a whole lot to get around the Clay Champion. Opponent's got 3/3 here, and still no attacks. Okay. Alrighty, well, Clay Champion coming down is a 4/4. Okay, now tap treasure. Doesn't matter, they're not getting any buffs. So we can hit a land in hand. Briar Bridge Tracker isn't bad. Gets us a treasure for the next turn after. Sure, we'll keep. Now we have big booty blockers in the way. Nice thing about Clay Champion is it's just a 4-mana 8/8. I mean, the card's just gigantic. Right here, 4-mana 8/8 is relevant. Stonewalling our opponent's entire board. Now we can get this tracker down. Gonna trigger our Steel Seeker twice. Hopefully we can get some lands with a Steel Seeker now. Don't want the greeters for sure. We will take a land though. We're definitely welcome sight with the land there. Can draw off the clue. And we're still gonna keep this Clay Champion back. It's holding down the fort right now. Definitely until we get this Titan of Industry down. I want it to hold down the fort. We'll see what our opponent has. Another Naturalist. And do they have one more card in their hand they'd like to show us? Child of the Pack can start making 2/2s, which is kind of actually relevant here. Okay, we'll draw here off the clue. Forest, okay. Feels like we should be miles ahead of our opponent, but since 3 of the cards we drew were Haywire Might, don't think we are. Gonna get this forest down though, so we have to use less treasures. No artifacts or enchantment amongst our opponent's creatures that we're really particularly interested in killing. We're gonna want to make the Rhino, put a shield counter, and grow the Gala Greeters. Could make the treasure to trigger the Seraph Steel Seeker, but we are good on lands right now. I think we want to put the counter on the Clay Champion. And now we'll create the treasure to trigger this Seraph Steel Seeker to scry, essentially. Ooh, Rumire or Amalgam's definitely good enough. And we'll get him this 8/8. Imagine our opponent's just going to jump here with a 1/1 or something. Real problem for us now is that this Child of the Pack is going to start making 2/2s. A bunch of them. And this Pack Song Pup is getting big enough where we're not going to be able to attack through it profitably. It's going to be a problem here. Gonna need to draw a Tail Swiper so I'm going to kill this Pack Song Pup. And opponent's just going to make their Wolf. What else do they have in hand? Something they could potentially cast. 3 mana. Unnatural Moonrise. Okay. Roll. I think trade our Titan of Industry with... Oh, okay. They're just getting busy with everybody. Interesting. Okay, so they're getting busy with absolutely everybody. So yeah, we're going to kill this Lord of the Uvenwald. And we're going to snipe a block on this Lord of the Uvenwald. I think we're going to let them draw their card off the Pack Song Pup. Question is, do we want to kill this Savage Packmate? I think we do. And then this is just a 6/5. Do you want to sacrifice, gain the life? I think we do here. So we'll block like this. Trade out a bunch of this board. Opponent's going to draw a card from the Pack Song Pup, but that's a-okay. We gain some life. They draw their card. We have this Titan of Industry still. Get this Root Wire Amalgam down. I think we want the Wormlet. So this can give Trample again, but that's okay. This can give Haste. Yeah, we're gonna activate this actually. Get this 15/15 going. Deal lands, put that in our hand. Get busy like this. Opponent's got a block here. Can't block the Titans, gotta block the 15/15. And we have blockers back. The Paxong Pup is going to get trampled, but it's going to cost him 4 mana to get trample. It means they can't do a whole lot with the rest of their turn. They only have a Snarling Wolf and a Paxong Pup left over. Opponent's got some decisions to make, for sure. And they didn't block the 15/15, so they're dead. Alrighty. Opponent decided they want us to put them out of their misery, I suppose. Alrighty. Well, GG's. Let's move to the wrap-up. Okay, and we're back with Biometal, and it was a solid showing for the deck. Lost more games than we won, for sure. We did change the deck up mid-video. I think those changes were good. I think you do want to become a more consistent deck, which is why we went with a lot more 4-ofs, a lot more of the traditionally powerful Brothers War cards, and Simulacrum, Clay Champion, Root Wire Amalgam, Teething Wormlet package there. Gallagher is another pretty powerful card, although not for the Brothers War. But if you're going to be playing creatures and you care about artifacts and ramping it all with the treasures, it's a pretty good place to be. Overall, when I compare this to, say, like my green-white artifact beatdown deck I played on this channel before, I would say I prefer that deck. That deck has probably more power in it. Even, you know, it had the Michiko's Reign of Truth, which could come out of nowhere and slap your opponent up. It had obviously the Clay Champions, the Simulacrums. It also had Steel Seraph, Platoon Dispenser. It had Urza's Battlethopter. It had some cool cards in there, along with a Patchwork Automaton and Yoshin Dissident. I think building around Seraph Steelseeker is definitely possible in the standard environment. I'm just not sure a mono green beatdown build is where you're looking to do that. I think you're going to want two things when you are able to do this Steelseeker. You're going to want to be able to put a lot more artifacts onto the battlefield than we are able to here, for number one. And secondly, if you could accomplish that first part one, where you can get a lot of artifacts in the battlefield, end up with a bunch of extra lands in hand, you're going to want a way to convert those lands into usable resources. So I'm thinking of like a sort of a teamer Iconoclast deck, where you're casting a bunch of spells, you have a big score. I think we played against this deck actually a few days ago on the channel. You have a big score. You have ways to turn these lands into more meaningful spells, and you're getting a bunch of artifacts with the Iconoclast triggers, or the big score itself, creating artifacts. I think that's really the style you want to go. Maybe it's like a Saheeli build with Seraph Steelseeker. It's a really good card, but I think in mono green beatdown, it's not really the home for it. I think you'd much rather have Patchwork Automaton here, and probably just move green white in general. But as you can see, you can still win games with this deck. You know, Root Wire Amalgam can get there. A surprise big hasty man. Clay Champion just makes huge creatures. I mean, we cast an 11/11 in this game, and if not, you're casting a 4-mana 8/8, which is still huge. You know, your Gala Greeters, your Teething Wormlets, those get big too. So you can still do work with the deck, but I think there are other ways you would want to look. And as far as the 1-drop slot, you think you definitely want to play Teething Wormlet. It's the better of the two creatures here. So you have to play Teething Wormlet over Haywire Might, and gear your deck more artifact wise. Um, Other artifacts you could potentially play in this spot would be like Iron Apprentice, although I think Haywire Might's probably better than Iron Apprentice. But you could also just go full aggro and play any green 1 mana 2/1s like Pack Leader. Um, so I think those are some ways you could potentially take this deck. But for the time being, I don't think I would recommend playing this deck as constructed, as just straight up green artifact beatdown in this manner. I think you're probably better served to go white, or to drop the Serenth Steelseeker, grab the Patchwork Automatons, and get to work. That way, get busy just attacking your opponent and not really trying to get into this value game as much. Probably drop the Briarbridge trackers as well, even though they are surprisingly good with the Teething Wormlet and the Gala Greeters. I was pretty happy with how that all came out, but yeah, those are my thoughts on the deck. Thank you again, Balrog6, for submitting the deck. I very much appreciate you guys submitting the decks, and I do want to kind of note, if this Balrog6, you commented or put in your deck description at least, that you don't have all the wild cards to make the deck you would want to create a reality. Well, that's okay. You can still send the link to your deck. You can make hypothetical changes to the list you're playing on your arena account to something you think would be more streamlined and more efficient, and I can definitely play that on the channel, that version as well. So you can sort of see your idealized version of the deck, and you can see if, hey, would those wild cards be a good investment? So I think that could be a value prop for people sending their decks, the decks in, who maybe don't have the wild cards to create the entire deck. You can send them in, and I'll go ahead and create that deck, run it through some games, so you can see kind of what the full max power version of your idea that you create in your head would look here, and see if I would suggest any changes or not, or if I thought the deck was great and didn't need changes. But yeah, that's kind of what's going on here. Until next time, wherever you are, whenever you are, have a magical day.